What's up, YouTube? This is Scott from the Common Pleb Militia. We talk about crypto on this channel, self-improvement, business, entrepreneurship, the economy, and finance. And this video I wanted to put together, I realized I haven't even had a video that I've talked about this, although I've been engaged in this since about 2020. So for those that are aware of PiCoin, this was I know some of you are probably already clicking off the channel, right? Because there's claims that it's a scam. Basically, this was a cryptocurrency that was created by some Stanford graduates. That was my first interest, and you could mine it from your phone. There's been some other cryptocurrencies that have come out where people have attempted to do this in the past. And the reason I think they never gained traction was because when people were trying to mine them from their phone, it was like draining your battery, right, with the way that the app was designed. Other people were probably concerned about their data being sold, or there wasn't any information on who the developers were or who was behind the project. So there was always speculation that these were scams or they were out there to basically steal your data and things like that. So there's various forms of this cryptocurrency where you can mine it from your phone, and none of them have really seemed to gain traction. So I think the fact that these guys were Stanford graduates, that's a prestigious college, very intelligent people go there. It's one of the top colleges here in the United States, so or at least up there, don't quote me, but I know Stanford was always a very prestigious college to go to and difficult to get into. So I started doing it because I said, what the hell? What do I have to lose? I'll press a button. I lost my job due to COVID. I was working at an aircraft manufacturer doing quality inspections, non-destructive testing, and ultrasound on composite parts. Lost my job because the world shut down. So during that time, I had time to think. I was on unemployment. I was getting a stimulus from stimulus from the government, as many people were, because I wasn't making a whole lot of money at that 9 to 5. And my wife was already homeschooling my first son. My second son was born in the hospital during the pandemic, like 3 days after. But basically, I was able to stay home for like a year. It was terrible that people died from COVID and the world shut down and a lot of businesses got hurt. But that was also a time where I took an opportunity to start my painting business. So get the documentation and the licensing to do so. I also had some time to have some introspection and think about what makes me happy, what I want to do. And I had a lot of quality time that I was able to spend with my kids, and my wife. So in that aspect, I started researching more about cryptocurrencies. I didn't have a whole lot of money at the time, but I said, what the hell? And now here we are in 2025, and I almost gave up on the project because one of the downsides of PiCoin, or the Pi network, is that although these guys had credibility, and I believed in it, I wasn't really happy, and I think a lot of people that were mining it weren't really happy that there wasn't a whole lot of updates coming from the developer team or the core team. So a lot of this stuff I was searching on YouTube to get information about. These were other like crypto dudes that have more knowledge about crypto than I do. I was just getting started into the whole crypto game. I knew people were becoming multimillionaires with like very minimal bets, man. Like you look at like Shiba Inu, and I think there was something that said if you had invested $1 at its very bottom when Shiba Inu came out as a meme coin, and you sold at its peak, which obviously never happens, right? Like the chances of that are always slim to none, right? You're usually getting in late, and you're usually selling after the peak has been hit with these meme coins because they're very volatile. But you would have been like a multi-millionaire. It was something like you would have made like $100 million on a dollar bet. Like these meme coins can rise several million%. It's insane. So you think about even $1 you could become a millionaire on. Now, and that's why I love meme coins, man, because for like a brokey or a family man or a average working class citizen anywhere, you could come from a very poor country. It doesn't matter what your background is, doesn't matter what your race is. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, it opens so much opportunity. It's created an industry that I feel like the system has designed that, these government systems, they don't want us to be free, right? They want us to have devaluing currencies so that we're little wage slaves and they want to just spend irresponsibly. Not that I spend responsibly, but from a government standpoint, they're like, well, we'll just have their kids and their, future generations pay off our debt. US dollars going down the shithole. Everything's expensive. That's why I got interested in it. So downside, wasn't a whole lot of communication when it came out. I actually lost faith and stopped. I used to mine every day. After like the second or third year in or fourth year, I was mining probably a quarter or an eighth of the time as I usually do. Every 24 to 48 hours, you'll get a notification, unless you shut the notifications off, that say, hey, it's time to mine again. You log into the app, you press a button. It'll start playing some ads after that. Usually after that, I just cancel out, and it'll still continue to mine. I also have something called Atlas Earth, which was it's virtual real estate, and that was something I got invested in. The metaverse, right? We all know about Zuckerberg talking about that when the metaverse came out, and I was a believer in that. I thought that there was a lot of opportunity. I got invested in a couple of apps that could essentially pay you rent, or you could flip virtual real estate and make money, just like these NFTs. I'm like, man, I was looking for a get rich quick scheme, right? Now I knew with PiCoin, I was like, okay, man, the fact that I'm mining this from a phone, and they're making it accessible to people all over the world, I highly doubt I'm going to become like a multimillionaire off this. But if I can make some sort of money with no investment other than the fact that I'm pressing a button, then what do I have to lose? And that's the way I've looked at it. I've been burned a lot in the past on investments, primarily trading more so than investing. I'm still trying to get myself to a point where I have a good nest egg of savings, and everyone's scenario is different. With mine, my debts are just a little higher than they probably should be relative to what I make. I make great money, or what I think is pretty good money for a single adult, but for a family of four, it's pretty tough, right? I got kids, and I'm trying to backpedal to get myself out of that so that I can start saving more money, so that the next opportunity that arises, based on the hard lessons I've learned, I'm prepared to pull the trigger and make money. I've learned a lot of hard lessons where I'm becoming more confident every year with crypto, with trading options, trading volatility, the S&P 500. I love playing options. My downside is risk management. It's poor risk management. Like, I'll get a great percentage return, but if it's only a couple $100 or a couple thousand, to me, I'm like, dude, that's not enough. I need to get like 50 or like 20 or 50K. But when you look at percentages, even with a very small investment on these options trading, or with any type of meme coin with crypto, you can make a lot of money quick, a lot of money. I turned $800 into $15,000 when trading options back when I worked at a shipyard, and I was mind blown, man. I thought it was like a glitch. And I remember texting my wife at the time. I'm like, look at what I made. I'm quitting this. I'm going to be a full-time day trader. Well, that didn't last too long. After that, you realize, yes, I had a good play and I made the right bet, but the key is not necessarily you can't be right 100% of the time. Even professional traders aren't. Even people that trade crypto every day for a living aren't. The key is being right at least 60% or even 50% of the time. But if you're right half the time and your losses are minimal losses, you just have to make sure that your wins are always bigger than your losses, and you'll be net positive, right? And that comes down to risk management. And that's one of the biggest challenges I've had. It's like, I know what I'm doing, and I have some things to learn, man, but sometimes I'm like, fuck, if I just had the right amount of money, I would have made my fucking salary in that move. And that's the most demoralizing thing to live with. So I have no one to blame but myself. And the delayed gratification is a very difficult thing to wrap your head around and to really accept. Everybody wants to get rich quick, and patience, delayed gratification, respecting the process. Yes, there are people that make money. I've said it on my other videos before. I think you can be intelligent. I think you can beat this game. Life is a game. It's a chess game. And there's ways to shortcut it. There is. You just have to make the right move strategically at the right time, in the right order, with the right amounts. So there's a lot of moving parts, and that's why a lot of people don't make it happen. But it's possible. back to Picoin. I got way off track. Back to Picoin. Picoin. So, yeah, basically you get some people, a referral link. You could call it a pyramid scheme. I don't think it's that, but the network is powered by everyone's phones, right? And they designed an app that does not drain your battery. You press the button. They got a huge following of people. People didn't really understand the network. They didn't understand what it offered, what the benefits were. And I'm still 50-50. I have faith in it because I'm invested in it. I'm still mining every day. I have a very small referral team. I'll put a link in this video if you're interested in mining it. It doesn't cost you anything. And basically the way to mine more is if you get a couple, like, my recommendation first off is don't get strangers. Like, one of the risks of me putting this referral link in this video is someone's going to click it, they're going to get on my referral team, but if they don't do what's called their KYC verification, which what they're doing is trying to filter out bots and people that are trying to scam it by getting like 1,000 phones and getting like a mining farm going, right? So that they have a leg up and it's not truly like a fair ecosystem. They want to make sure whoever's on the other end of that phone that's mining is a real person and it's not a scam. It's not like an AI bot or something like that. So to do that, KYC is going to make you confirm your identity, right? And so if you're not willing to do that, don't click it, because what's going to happen is you're going to mine and you're not going to be able to keep any of your coins, or maybe if you can keep some, it's going to be like a small percentage of that. And it's the same with me. If you sign up and you start mining under me, well, my mining rate goes up, right? But if you do it and you don't pass your KYC, I'm not really making anything. You aren't either. Everyone's wasting their time. So make sure if you do it, you're just willing to confirm your identity. That's what's required to get this. But long story short, they took several years. The downside is they didn't let anybody know what's up. We had to get, the stuff they were putting out was very sporadic, and I was just kind of pissed off at the fact that they weren't updating people enough, and it made people lose faith. It made people think there's a scam. So here we are in 2025. Just recently, it was listed on the open mainnet, which means that other platforms can start trading it. Before that, there was what's called an IOU coin. So somebody was taking Picoin and they were trying to trade it, but it wasn't officially backed by the developers of this network. And that had created some, some hype. People got on board with it. They're like, oh shit, the IOU coin's like trading at $300 a coin or $30 a coin. So everyone thought they were going to be multimillionaires. Well, finally it hit the exchanges, and it's listed on a few different exchanges. I would recommend checking YouTube for some other guys that are big on Pi. One of them is called Christian, I forgot his last name. I don't know if he's from Denmark or something. He's not from the United States. And he's got a ton of information on Pi Network. So I get a lot of my information from him. I would recommend checking him out. I would just type in like Christian Picoin or Pi Network in YouTube search, and he'll probably come up. But yeah, man, the way I look at this, what do I have to lose, right? Unless they do actually sell my information and steal it, which I don't think. I mean, it hasn't happened yet. I'm not concerned about it. It's now hit the exchanges. Since Bitcoin and the economy is kind of on the edge, a lot of crypto has taken a fall, right? We know that Bitcoin ran up. It broke, 100,000. I don't follow it super closely, but I know sometimes it affects meme coin prices. And I know it hit that, and a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to 1 million, and, which I believe, but I'm like, dude, it's going to pull back. I've seen Bitcoin, when it runs up and it hits a new high, it'll sit there. It's going to hit a ceiling just like any other stock. It's going to cool off. It's going to sell off. It's going to retrace. And that's a buying opportunity to get back in. So if you were trading Bitcoin and you're not actually in it for the long term and you wanted to make quick money, you should have sold once it broke 100K, knowing that it's going to retrace back down into the 70s or the 80,000s, right? So that's happened. And since that's happened, a lot of the meme coins sold off. Pi Network or the Pi coin has gone down. It ran up to like $3 a coin, and then it dropped down to like, I think it's at 86, just under 90 cents right now. I do have faith in it. I have faith in it. There's a lot of people out there with credibility that are using it. I've been mining since 2020, 2021, so I have almost 7,000 Pi coins, but of those 7,000, I don't know the official amount because there's a formula that they use. And basically I had 12 people that were mining on my team. And of those 12, only 6, I believe, did their KYC based on what Pi Network was telling me, the app. So I believe because of that, I'm only going to get a portion of that. Because when you have people on your team, you're mining more. So you have like your own. If I didn't have anybody on my team and it was just me pressing that button, I would still be making Pi coins or earning Pi coins by mining. But it's going to be a fraction of that. It would have only been like 1,000 or 2,000 coins, right? Based on the mining rate and how much I can mine in a certain time period with just myself. Now, by getting a referral team, it increases how much Pi I'm mining on a per hour basis. So again, some of them did the KYC, some of them didn't. So what the developer said is, it doesn't mean you're not going to get any of the referral bonus in your app, but it means that you may only get some of that. So there's actually a formula that they use to calculate that, but I'm not interested in doing that. My guess is, okay, if I got 4,000 or 5,000 Pi coins from my referral team and only half my referral team did the KYC, then I would imagine I'd get about 2,000 or 3,000 of those of that bonus referral Pi that was earned from my referral network. So do I think it's a scam? No. I don't think it's a scam. I think we've proven it's not a scam because it's now being traded on exchanges. They're actively developing the app. They're now creating domains. So just like .net, .org, .com, you can now purchase domains. And I've talked about this in another video where it's like AI.com was bought in like 1996, and they just sold it like last year. One of the GoDaddy brokers told me someone sold that domain and made like $100 or $200 million. Like anything AI related for domains is making a shit ton of money. With AI, you can't purchase it with fiat currency. And so what happened is I'm mining mine, and I chose to lock mine up, meaning I can't sell any of my Pi coins right now until about November of 2025. I chose about 2 years ago or a year ago to lock it up for like a certain period of time, meaning if this lists and it's like $5,000 a coin, which would never probably happen, but like let's say just theoretically there was some fucking crazy number where I'm like, dude, I'm a multimillionaire, I still can't sell it because I chose to lock it up. But you would ask yourself, why would somebody do that? It's because my mining rate was increased by almost 600% on a per hour basis. So I know that delayed gratification, if this Pi network becomes successful, it doesn't fall on its face and fail, and the ecosystem grows and it's being utilized and people are doing their KYC, then I have more Pi coins. And if we look at as Bitcoin as an example, or any other cryptocurrency, generally over time you will make money, and it's going to increase a hell of a lot more than just an index fund in the S&P 500, right? That it's like, these stocks go up 20% a year, sometimes 40 or 100%. Some people, like a baby boomer is going to think that's fucking awesome. It's still a good return, right? If you got a couple 100,000 or a couple mil in the bank. But if you're a brokey, if you're a working class, if you're trying to escape your wage cuck job, or, like me, you run a seasonal painting business and you're like, fuck, dude, I need some real money. None of this dog shit fucking, give me fucking 12% in a year. You're probably going to need something like a meme coin that's going to like just shoot your gains to the fucking moon, and you're making like a 30,000% return, or a 40x, or a couple 100,000. Like, let's get some real money here, right? So am I optimistic about Pi? Yes. Am I pissed off and a little disgruntled about how they ran the program when it first, or the network when it first started, and the app? Yes, I am. I stuck with it. I don't regret it. Now I have if this gets back up to $3 a coin, I've got, if I've got 6,000 coins, right? $20, $30, $40,000 in US dollars for what? Pressing a button for the last couple of years. So if you want to join, I'll put the link. You'll get, I think, 1 free Pi coin by using my referral link, and just log in and, do your KYC verification, press the button every 24, 48 hours, close out. And, you're not going to get rich joining at this point right now, but it's free money, right? And if you don't look at the value as it stands right now, and realize, okay, it's only 80 cents a coin right now, or 90. Well, what if it becomes $100 a coin, right? Like, we don't know, or 1,000. Anything is possible with crypto. And that's why I'm looking at this as an opportunity of like, maybe I don't like, I know at this point I'm making something. I'm making a few $1,000s minimum. But if I hold this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and this network becomes really successful, I mean, look at the gains that Bitcoin has had over a 5, 10, 20-year span. We're talking like, you could wake up and be like, fuck, man, I'm glad I didn't sell this because now I'm a multi-millionaire. Like, you could be some people walk away from these meme coins being billionaires from very small investments. Now, will that happen with Picoin? I don't know, probably not. But the fact of the matter is, it's free money. I've got a link to Moonshot if you want to trade meme coins. I'll put that in this video. It's in my bio as well. I'll also put a referral link, or it's not a referral link, it's a link to join my team. But I'm asking you, please don't click my referral link for Coin in the Pi network unless you're willing to verify your identity and consistently mine. And if you're willing to do that, please do so. Otherwise, you're wasting my time and yours. So yeah, free money. I'm optimistic about it. I'm hopeful for the future. I don't plan to sell anytime soon. I'm for me to sell and make a couple $1,000s would be cool, but I want to make some real money.